Hey, what up, BGK gang? This is Andre at Big Gemini Kennels, aka BGK. Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that alert notification so you're notified every time we drop new content, and that's going to be frequently because we came to drop bombs. Beast mode. Hey, what up? So today, Dre BGK is here to hit you with a story time. Let's get ready for a BGK story time. The time that I sold a huge XL American bully to an idiot in Indonesia who decided to put him in a dogfighting ring against two game-bred American Pitbull Terriers. Yeah, that happened. Hey, what it do, BGK fam? It's BGK's Dre, and we back with another story time. Or like I hear these other YouTubers say, I'm back at you with another banger. Oh man, I always wanted to say that, man. It cracked me up when I hear people say that. But today's story time is about the time when I first started shipping dogs overseas, and I ended up selling a dog to a real rich dude in Indonesia, and I found out that he took the dog to fight, and it fought two other pit bulls at the exact same time. So I'll let y'all know what happens as this progresses, but let me go ahead and start at the beginning, because this was my first time where I knew that I actually sold a dog that was used for dog fighting. Because anybody that knows me knows I'm anti-dog fighting. If you're a dog fighter, f you. I don't f with dog fighters. I don't like dog fighters. I don't represent that. I represent love. I represent the breed in the right way. Now, we all know that these dogs have an edge. Let's not front. They have an edge. They're strong dogs. They can be viewed in certain ways by certain people, but to me, they have big hearts, and a lot of people abuse those big hearts because they will do anything for their owner, including protect them, including attack another dog, attack another person. And some people abuse that. That's a privilege and a responsibility that is to be used in a certain way if you're going to be involved with this breed. Do it the right way. If you're involved with pit bulls, if you're involved with American bullies, make sure you show them the love and respect that they deserve. Don't have them out there trying to kill another dog or kill somebody for no reason. Now, if they need to protect you for a reason, so be it. I mean, that is part of having a good dog that is strong in a guard dog breed, which they definitely have some of those traits. But anyway, let me tell you what happened. Now, I was one of the first XL American bully breeders that really started shipping overseas. Like, I've always been heavy overseas. Like, when I first got started, I actually established BGK Europe by taking BGK's Cujo, shipping them out to Europe and establishing a franchise over there. So that was kind of my learning process. But early on, one of the first places I sent was Europe and then Indonesia. Now, when I first met this gentleman, now, he ain't no gentleman. When I first met this asshole that I ended up selling the dog to in Indonesia, he came across as like a family man. He sent me pictures of him, of his wife, of his kids with their motorcycle. Like, they seemed like a family unit, right? And he wanted to start breeding. He wanted to bring this breed to Indonesia. And at that point, as a young breeder, I was really excited to be part of the movement and to help the movement expand outside of the United States and to start selling the breed to Europe, to Africa, to Indonesia. So it was a privilege to start spreading the breed out. That's something I wanted to do, and was lucky and blessed to be a part of that portion of the XL American Bully expanding. So when he contacted me and he's telling me straight up, look man, money isn't a problem. You know, I just want to get one of the biggest, best dogs that you can give me. Alright, so at that time I was doing a breeding with BGK's Cujo and BGK's Deja. It was actually the first breeding I ever did of two dogs that I actually produced. I produced both of the dogs and I was pairing them together to create these dogs. So I was really proud of this production, even more than my other productions, because it's different when you produce a dog and one of the dogs you bought, one of the dogs you might have produced. These were two dogs that I produced. So it was BGK's Cujo bred to BGK's Deja, and when I bred them together, man, magic came out of that breeding. Actually, one of the dogs in that breeding ended up being in the movie with Keanu Reeves called Exposed. His name was BGK's Tank. So this breeding went big. When I say big, like I said, one of the dogs ended up in the movie with Keanu Reeves. It went really well. So he wanted the first pick from that breeding, and I planned on keeping that first pick for myself, especially since it was the first time that I was breeding two dogs that I had produced together. So I didn't plan on selling that dog. But he offered me something. I don't remember what the price was exactly. I know it's somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000. I do know that. It wasn't a low budget offer. And I was excited, like, you know what, man? This is the payoff. I'm finally getting some money back from all, because I've invested heavy into these dogs. Like, you know, I bought Rock for $25,000 and I bought Jules for another $5,000. So I've been spending a lot of money in the dog. So this was you know, some of the payback I was looking for. So I'm like, okay, you know what? This dog is going to a solid guy. He's going to a guy in Indonesia. It's going to be a new country, finding out about BGK and the big, beautiful bullies that we create. This is what I want. This is how I'm going to expand my brand. I already got Europe on smash with BGK's Cujo, and BGK's Cujo shut it down in Europe. We actually did a big show. The first XL American Bully show ever in Europe was done by us. You know, and we actually had Raheem, my guy Patrick over there. We did it big. So I'm like, this is the second phase. I already got BGK Europe on smash. Now I'm about to go ahead and smash Indonesia. Wrong. I didn't know where we were going with this. So at the end of the day, I didn't know. And this is something, as if you're a breeder listening to this and taking in some of this information I'm giving out during my story times, know this. When you're sending out to other countries, find out what the laws are, because different countries have different laws. In Indonesia, dogfighting is actually legal. All you have to do is pay taxes. You can go rent out an arena, you could go rent out any event center and host a dogfight. It's not a big deal. Of course, I didn't know that or think that was something I was being involved with at this point, but it turned out that's what it was. So we got all the export paper together, all the export paperwork together that was needed through the USDA and everything else. I figured out how to get the dog ready to be exported, and I exported the dog to Indonesia. I sent it out there, and at first he was sending me pictures of the dog, and it was impressive. Like, damn, this dog turned out to be big. He actually ended up being somewhere around 166 pounds. This is when you talk about an XL American Bully, this was a true XL American Bully. His name was BGK's T-Rex, for good reason, because he looked like a big ass T-Rex. I mean, he sent me pictures where the dog was like dragging him out of his slippers. It was just a beautiful specimen. And because he had such a big, beautiful beast of an XL American Bully over in Indonesia, where they had never seen a dog like that, all they had were game bred fighting pit bulls, right? They started asking him, this is what I found out later, they started asking him, oh, that dog you got is huge, you can make some money off of him, put him in the ring. Alright, so what this guy decides to do, man, this pisses me off, bro. What this guy decides to do is to actually take the dogs into a ring over an $80,000 bet. I guess he figured that was more than he paid for the dog and he can make the money that way. But the key was, they were putting this big XL American Bully against two game bred fighting dogs. Now what weight they were, I don't know, but I know a lot of fighting dogs are catch weight like what, 45 pounds, you know, tops maybe 50 pounds. These are smaller game dogs, but that doesn't mean anything. The dogs I breed, just for everybody out there to know, XL American Bullies are not a fighting breed. Pitbulls are fighting breeds. They're built to do that. XL American Bullies, they're just too big, they're too bulky, they're not able to move the same as a pit bull, they're not ready to interact with a true pit bull and fight with a true pit bull. Now, they're man stoppers. If you got somebody trying to get into your house, if you got somebody breaking into your yard, an XL American Bully will terminate that threat. I know mine will. They'll eat that. But as far as dog fighting, they're just too big and too bulky and just not designed to go against another smaller, more athletic dog inside of the dog ring. That's not the way it works. So what really happened was, when they put that dog in a ring against two game bred dogs, they tore him to shreds. They tore him to shreds, man. I mean, it was bad. And the owner was dumb enough to actually send me pictures of the dog bleeding out after the fight, but he was in a kennel at that point. And he tried to convince me, he's like, oh man, I think he bit his tongue and that's where the blood is from. Man, he got blood wounds on his throat. He got blood all over his coat. Like, this dog is covered in blood and his tongue's hanging out. It looked bad. I'm like, this dude must think I'm stupid. Like, I already knew something was wrong. Then on Facebook, I started getting all these messages from other people that were contacting me. There were other people in Indonesia that had found out about Big Gemini Kennels through him because they really liked this dog. So they started contacting me like, hey man, I don't want to say his name for legal purposes, but they were like, hey man, blah, 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 took that dog that you gave him and put him into a dog fight against two game bred pit bulls, and he didn't last that long. Those two game bred pit bulls tore him up, and I'm like, I'm not surprised. Like, I told him from the beginning, these are family dogs. He told me he was looking for a companion dog. He was looking for a top quality dog to use as breeding stock because he wanted to start breeding this style of dog over in Indonesia. So the dude came back to me and he's asking me, look man, my dog died. Of course he's not telling me there was a dog fight. He's not telling me none of that shit. He's acting like My dog died. I don't know what happened, man. Did you sell me a bad dog? Or I think he just hurt himself in the cage. And I'm like, dude, he didn't hurt himself in no cage. That was a big, healthy dog. His brothers and sisters are all healthy. He was super healthy. That was a healthy dog. What happened? He was like, man, I'm just telling you, he bit his tongue and bled out. But I'm willing to pay you whatever to get another dog of that caliber, because I've never had a dog that nice before. And at this point, this is where you have to have some integrity as a breeder. Because I could have easily said, you know what, 30,000, I'll give you another one. 40,000, I'll give you another one. But at some point, the money is not worth it if you know the dog is going to go over there and be abused and be fought and be put in the ring and he's going to die. You got to stand for something to fall for anything, man. And I stand up for the breed I love. I stand up for the XL American Bully. I also stand up for Pitbulls. No, I don't breed them. I breed XL American Bullies. So stay out of my comments with that stupid shit. Hey, man, you breed XL American Bullies. You're always talking about Pitbull. I represent both. But I know what I breed. I breed XL American Bullies. This was a 168-pound dog. Of course, he's an XL American Bully. But at that time, I told him, look, man, I will not sell you another dog. There's not an amount of money you can give me for another dog. As a matter of fact, I know you was fighting that damn dog, and f you. Period. That's how I feel. Don't ever come to the United States. I will smack fire out of your ass. Like, I don't play around. I fight dog fighters. I will beat a dog fighter's ass. I don't give a damn what you think you are, bro. Because he's always talking about, I do martial arts and all that. Well, so, I mean, block a bullet, bitch. Anyway, at the end of the day, that's how that ended. He kept trying to do business with me. I said no. Eventually, he went on Facebook, and this is where he came. This is another thing that I want to tell y'all. Don't believe everything you hear on social media, because the one thing he did on social media was, hey, man, he sold me this dog, and the dog died, and now he won't sell me another dog. But he's not telling everybody that you fought this damn dog against 2 pit bulls, and he's not even a damn fighting dog. Period. So to all the breeders out there, don't just look at the money. Look at the people behind the money. Look at the locations these people are in. And I'm not trying to say don't sell here, don't sell there, but at least be aware of what goes on in certain areas. Because if I would have known in Indonesia you can pay taxes and then legally fight dogs, I would have scrutinized that situation differently. Now, he presented himself in a way where he might have still got me, because he seemed legit. He's sending me family pictures. He's sending me everything I would want to see as a breeder to know that I'm sending my dog out to a responsible party. All right? So make sure you do your due diligence. Don't just assume because somebody got a lot of money and they're overseas that you want to send that dog there and make that bag, because you might be putting your dog in a f***ed up situation. And as a breeder, it's our responsibility to make sure these animals go into good homes. Alright, so yeah, it's going to be more story times coming, and I want y'all to keep in mind, some of these story times are older, some are newer, people get confused. I just like to give y'all experiences that I've had in the dog world, so y'all can kind of get some of the insight and behind the scenes information that a lot of breeders don't give out. Leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about it. Let me know what countries y'all know about where dog fighting exists, because I thought it was over. Like, I thought dog fighting pretty much ends. I don't deal with dog fighters. I don't know much about it. So if y'all know anything about dog fighters that I don't, drop it in the comments. I will read your comments. Let me know what countries that dog fighting still exists in. Let me know if you're hearing about dog fighting still existing in the United States and where that's going on at, because I wouldn't know. And I don't want to sell my dogs to any dog fighters, and hopefully y'all don't either. This is BGK Andre, and I'm out.